So now we're in this software called Living Matrix, and this is, what all of her patients get into. This is where you kind of can see all of your reports. So you can see right here, these are all of the evaluations I filled out. It took me about 3 to 4 hours. So it's a lot of information you're giving her. And then she now has my one report. So I'm just going to pull that up and we're going to view. So in this has a lot of my information. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of skip through that because I don't want to show you guys everything I filled out. I want to show you the reports that came from it. So you can see this is all the stuff I filled in. So I'm just going to scroll real quickly through that. So what I really want to show you is the timeline. Okay, so this one's actually really interesting. So you can see here I'm at a 34. And according to her, an average is 20, like a super healthy person. And she's like, there's no way you're a 34. But I'm definitely more optimistic. And when I say I feel good, this is the good I've known forever. So my baseline is down because good for me is probably crappy for somebody else. And she even mentioned, she's like, this is probably a coping mechanism for you to say that you feel good even when you feel like shit. So this number is probably really off, but basically she has you fill out all these different things and then you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, or I guess it's 0 to 4, how bad you're feeling and how frequent you have it. So you can see I have my little numbers lit up for the different things that I said I was feeling. So that's one thing she's going to go over. And over time, you retake these tests and you'll see that number go down, which is the goal. So the next thing, scrolling through, is these are those scores again. So you can see I say severe, completely, feel good, 7. It's not that great. This is what I really wanted to show you guys. And it's kind of hard to see because you can't see what these actually say because of it's stretched out. But this is my timeline. So everything this way right here is prior to me being born. So this is when I was born. And so some things that could have affected me, like my mom didn't breastfeed me for, a super long time. I was on, formula. So that can affect you because you're not getting everything you really need from your mom. And then carpets actually is something that she has in here as a marker that could cause issues. But those really probably aren't what did it for me. Down here, you'll see I had ear pain from 0 to actually until I was 14, I had ear infections on and off, but really bad when I was a baby. And so they put me on antibiotics. So all this time I'm on antibiotics, just destroying my gut. So I'm at this really bad place already. Then right here at age 7, my parents got divorced. So there was an emotional thing that happened. And honestly, just so you guys know, my parents were amazing. We had no idea that they were not happy, and they got a divorce. They did it as easy as they could on us. It was 50-50 with mom and dad. We switched every week. Both my parents were amazing. And, they did their divorce about as easily as they could on their kids. And obviously I want them to be happy, and we were happy. I don't really think that I didn't notice that maybe it was traumatic for me, but obviously that's a change in your life as a kid. Right after that is when I started having all these symptoms. So chronic pain, autoimmune disease, muscle soreness, joint pain, all of that. So I started having the symptoms of my dermatomyositis right after their divorce. And then it wasn't officially diagnosed till a year and a half later because I was misdiagnosed for a really long time. So what we're going to see in my trends is that I go on antibiotics for quite a while. There's an emotional thing that happens. And then right after that is when I get the onset of these new autoimmune diseases. So the next thing that was in my health history was from probably the age of, let's see, let me look on here. Sorry, I'm all close to the camera. So symptoms that started to happen were fatigue, daytime sleepiness, chronic fatigue, and frequent urinary tract infections. So from the time I was 12 to 16, I randomly just started getting urinary tract infections. And actually my mom had the same issue. And when I talked to the doctor, he actually said that, he has a theory that some people just have stickier, urinary tracts. And so bacteria sticks to it more. And that causes people to get infections a lot easier because they don't really know why certain people just get a lot of them. And so when that happened, I was having so many problems with it. They actually put me on antibiotics every single day, and they wanted me to take it for like ever, like that. And I eventually stopped because I was like, this just can't be good for you. And so right around that same time when that started happening and I was on antibiotics is when I started getting all these other symptoms for my next subset of diseases, which, as I told you guys before, was the thyroid problems, vitiligo, and then my alopecia. And so that happened. Then I had actually, sorry, let me reverse that. What happened was thyroid issues. Then around the age 16, I was in a really bad car accident and I broke L3, 4, and 5. And as you guys know, my boyfriend's a chiropractor, and he told me that L3, or one of the ones that I broke, is connected to the nervous system that is connected to your thyroid. And so a lot of times people that have issues in those vertebrae will have thyroid problems. So I do think that right around that is really when my thyroid problems started to kick into gear. And then you'll see right before I got the vitiligo and the alopecia, I was actually in a lawsuit for my car accident around right before this happened. And I was in a deposition, and the lawyer in that deposition was representing Swift, the semi-truck company that hit our car. And I actually ended up having to go to court to testify against them because we ended up settling with the insurance of the car that I was in. And this was a very traumatic experience. I mean, this lawyer was so mean. And my deposition was 8 hours. She was asking like the craziest questions and trying to get me to say things that were like, would make them be innocent. Like, it was just so traumatic. And so I truly think that's what that stress of that, because that was a few months of like depositions and going to court and testifying and being in a courtroom on the stand. And she's asking me all these crazy questions. Some of them she tried to like embarrass me in front of like the whole jury. It was traumatic. So that's when the onset of vitiligo and alopecia started. Then I wasn't diagnosed till later. So it's tricky to really look at your timeline and see like diagnoses happen here when you're thinking about it in your head. But when she lays it out like this for you, it makes so much sense. And then right before I actually got my next round of autoimmune diseases, I was having bladder infection and kidney infection problems again and being put on a ton of antibiotics again. And then I'm not really sure what the traumatic event might have been around that time. The only thing I can think of is that I did compete in a bodybuilding competition, and that's just like really stressful on your body. You're working out extremely hard all the time. You're on a crazy strict diet, and that change on somebody's body that already has all these gut issues is probably really stressful. So I'm thinking that that's what did it for me. So looking at this timeline with her was mind-blowing for me because, you guys, I've studied this stuff intensely. I've looked at things that happened in my life and tried to line it all up, and I've never seen it this clearly. So just doing this alone with her was huge. And if you guys just want this done for you, this is that $137 price. So really affordable to really see what's going on with your body. So I'm just going to continue through this now. We went over a lot of my family health history too, which is really interesting. Now this, I'm not going to be able to explain this to you guys because it's kind of hard to understand, but based on all of your problems you see over here, and this is also your family's health history, they put you in these different categories and really tell you which ones you really need to work on most. So whichever's sticking out the furthest is your biggest issue. So for me, it's defense and repair. I have no idea what that means, but she knows what this means. And so she knows that these are different things we need to treat you for and fix. And so this has a lot to do with what supplement she puts me on. You can see in here like cancer, FHX. What that's saying is that I have a history in my family of having cancers. My mom had cancer, my aunt had cancer, and my grandma had cancer. So that's something that we want to look out for in my genetic history. And so she knows what supplements to put me on. So like I said, I'm not going to try to explain this to you. If you guys want her to look at this, this is all part of that $137 valuation. This whole thing I'm showing you is part of that. So highly, highly suggest that for everybody. But anywho, so then this is the plan she puts me on. So she did my functional evaluation, which is what we're doing right now. Then she does my personalized analysis. So this is where she goes over everything with me. I'm kind of going through this fast, you guys, because it's just a lot to read. And then this is the next thing that she has me doing. So number one is I start my 30-day quick start program. And that's really my diet and everything like that. Then I order all the supplements. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call. Then I order all my supplements that are personalized to me, and I start that. I join the Facebook group and start doing the trainings. So already started that. Then I start the important work of repairing your gut, and I do the ongoing tests and to find the root causes of everything to really start reversing it. So next steps, I start getting all of my testing done. So the first thing I'm doing is genetic testing. Then I'm doing my thyroid and adrenals, because as what came up at all this is that I have a lot of adrenal fatigue. I have chronic fatigue, really, really bad for like my whole life that I can remember. So that's one thing we're doing. Then I'm doing my toxic overload test, and we start doing a detox of my gut, liver, kidneys, and doing all that. And that really takes approximately a year, as it says right here, depending on how much of these toxins you have in your body. And then I do all these other tests that I'm not going to show you guys because they're all going to be different for all of us. And then these are things that she actually has you do in your 30-day quick start program, which is getting the proper hydration, the right kind of water, nutrition, sleep and cardiac rhythm, movement, liver function, your elimination, so your bowel movements. We track all that, which is important to understanding your gut because that's what comes out of your gut. And then stress reduction and anti-inflammatory supplements, because inflammation causes all disease. So we're trying to lower that. So that's kind of that. And then she gives you everything. Like I said, it's a binder thick of paperwork that you're learning and understanding that she gives you specific to you. So here's all the tests I'm doing. It's a lot. Just to give you guys an idea too, testing is really expensive. A lot of insurances will cover it. But if they don't, it's definitely thousands of dollars worth of tests. I know the first 3 that I'm doing each are almost $400. So, my first 3 tests are almost $1,200. So you do need to realize that this is an investment when you're going into it. But I mean, this is the information that I've been dying to know, like what the heck is actually going on inside my body. To give you guys an idea, my sister did the testing before me, and they found high levels of mold in her. So she could have had mold in her body all this time, wreaking havoc. So now she's detoxing the mold out of her, and that's actually quite a long process to do. They also found high levels of certain heavy metals like uranium, which is freaking weird because uranium is like how you make like nuclear bombs and stuff. I don't know. But how that happens is it sometimes can be in the water or in the soil. So the foods you're eating can be exposed to it. And that's how you get that. She still has a lot of test results to get back. So I'm really curious to see what she has and what I have. And I'm definitely going to bring her on to share her results as well. Because I think it's really interesting to see like 2 people that were genetically very similar, raised very similar, in very similar conditions, having similar things, but also very different things. So yeah, I hope that kind of gives you guys an idea of what I'm doing, what my background is, and then what my protocol is. And like I said, I strongly encourage you guys to all check her out and maybe even just get this evaluation done because it was mind-blowing to me. And like I said, I've looked into this stuff my whole life and I still didn't put all the pieces together in the way that she did. And so this is going to be like your first step in really figuring out what's going on and figuring out the ways that you can improve your health. So do it. By the way, if you guys do reach out to her, let her know that Erica James sent you because she'll definitely hook you guys up. And it's just always nice to know where people come from. So definitely let her know that you came from me and my video and my recommendation. So today was my first shopping trip after Dori's protocol. And basically for the first 30 days, I'm doing this special smoothie and then there's certain foods that I can eat. We did a little bit of shopping for prep for the other stuff, but we still have a lot to do as far as like water filtration and those things. But I figured I'd show you guys. So the first thing is this super cool shower water filter. So you can see here, it goes like between like the actual shower component and your shower head. So you don't have to like replace your shower head. And it's only $20. So I'll link this on Amazon down below for you guys. But it's 6 months worth of shower filters. And when you replace it, it's only $10. And the cool thing is that it's for softer hair and skin. So I figure if you're like me and you dye your hair, it'll probably help with your hair color. And I also spray tan, so it'll probably make my spray tans last longer. So that's like a bonus. And the reason this is good for you is because you got to think like your skin is the biggest organ on your body. It soaks in everything you put on it. So the water you bathe in is really important. And our sink water, we wouldn't drink that, so why would we shower in it? So for 20 bucks, I think everyone should get this, even if you're not trying to go on a protocol like me. And then I got a binder and a 3-ring hole punch because I want to keep all my documents and reports in here. So I just think it's easier, and I'm one of those people where I like to like physically have things. And then we got this bad boy. What is this? Like 12 mason jars. We actually use these in our Airbnb because it's like an urban farmhouse theme. You use these as cups. But this was only 10 bucks at Target. I'll link these as well. We've ordered them online. They come super fast. But this is what I'm going to put my smoothies in. So I'm going to make like a whole batch in the morning, and then I'll have like 3 throughout the day. And this is also great to drink your water in because glass containers aren't going to have that plastic like leaching out into what you drink. Okay, then we got organic coconut milk, which this one actually has organic coconut purified water and organic gar gum. And I could not find anywhere that didn't have that gar gum, and the people in my group said they couldn't really either. You can make your own milk, and that's what she wants us to do eventually, but it's obviously a process, so we can start with this. My sister looked up a recipe, and apparently you just put like purified water and then organic coconut like flakes, and you blend it up, and then that's good for a week. So it's actually pretty easy to make. And then I got coconut cream. This is going to be the fat in my smoothie. And then what else? I got organic oats because I do eat oatmeal all the time for breakfast. So I'm just switching to organic because I'm doing everything organic. And then for my protein, I got organic pea protein from Trader Joe's. And this is just straight organic pea protein isolate with nothing else in it. You don't want all those additives. And then I'm allowed to eat quinoa. So I got organic quinoa from Trader Joe's. Got a cantaloupe for snacks because I love fruit as snacks. And then I got organic ginger root and turmeric root. That goes in the smoothie. And let's see, we just got organic carrots, organic celery, organic broccoli, organic kale, organic arugula, and organic beets. That's it. That's literally what I'm going to be eating for the next week or so. This will be fun. I'll keep you guys up to date on the process, and I'm definitely going to do another video where I talk about, I know I shared with a shower head just because I got that, but I'm going to talk about a lot of the different like products and other things besides what you eat that I'm going to be switching to, and that'll all be in one whole video, but I figured I'd share that anyways right now, so I just got it.